Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about something huge for Apple retailers, a way to fix one of your biggest and, most expensive post-sale headaches. It's really a new standard in device protection, and it all kicks off with one simple question.
Okay, so let's dive right in. You see damaged MacBooks every single day, right? But what's the number one thing? The most frequent, most expensive, and honestly the most disruptive issue your customers face? Just think about all those repairs you're handling. What's that one problem that just keeps coming back again and again?
Yeah, it's spills. You know, that coffee, that water, that soda, that one split-second clumsy moment, that's the number one cause of catastrophic hardware failure. It's a problem you know all too well. It drives your customers crazy and just ties up your whole support team.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it down in this explainer. First, we'll talk about a MacBook's worst enemy. Then we'll get into the real cost of spills. After that, we'll introduce the proactive solution, show you how it's engineered to be basically invisible, and finally, prove to you why this is probably the easiest sale you'll ever make.
Okay, let's start with what we all know, that universal, ever-present headache of liquid damage.
Look, for the customer, a spill is just pure panic, right? But for you, as a retailer, it's a really tough business reality. It's that phone call. You know the one. Weeks after a sale, and you just know it's going to lead to a difficult, expensive conversation about a repair.
Now, let's really dig into this problem. Let's talk about the true costs, because they go way beyond that initial repair bill the customer sees. You've had to be the bearer of bad news. You know that look on a customer's face when they hear the repair estimate. It's just a staggering amount of money, often a massive chunk of what they paid for the MacBook in the first place. And for your corporate clients, it's even worse. A single spill can easily top $1,300. That is a huge, unpredictable blow to their total cost of ownership, their TCO. And it's an absolute nightmare for any IT budget. But here's the thing. That repair bill, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Even with something great like AppleCare Plus, the customer still loses. They're facing days of downtime, they're risking permanent data loss, and they're dealing with all that panic and frustration. And meanwhile, your support team is completely tied up. This right here is the major protection gap that current solutions just don't cover. So what if we could just close that gap? The answer isn't a better repair plan. It's about shifting our whole mindset from being reactive to being proactive. It's about prevention. And this is the key mindset shift. We're not talking about another accessory here, like a case or a sleeve. This is a completely new category of protection. Think of it as a proactive preservation system. It's a fundamental change in how we even approach device care. Yeah, think of it like an engineering component that you can install in just seconds. It's designed to turn that absolute catastrophe into a minor 30-second cleanup job. So you're no longer managing a repair, you're preventing it from ever even happening in the first place. Of course, for this to really work, the protection has to be completely invisible to the user. I mean, a customer buys a MacBook for that incredible design and feel, and we absolutely cannot compromise that. So here's how the system maintains that perfect, out-of-the-box experience. Look at this. Every potential customer concern has been engineered away. You still get that perfect tactile typing feel. Touch ID works flawlessly. There's zero interference with port access or how the machine dissipates heat. It's even acoustically transparent, so the sound is perfect. Seriously, every single objection is already answered before it's even asked, and that makes the sales conversation incredibly simple for your team. So, what's the secret sauce? It's the material. It's this engineering-grade thermoplastic polyurethane, or TPU. Now, unlike that traditional silicone stuff, TPU gives you what we call a naked keyboard feel. It's radically thin. We're talking just 0.03 millimeters, and it's optically crystal clear. And look, to build trust, we're totally upfront that it can yellow a bit over time with UV exposure. Pretty much any clear polymer will. But that honesty, that really matters to customers. Okay, so let's get to the bottom line. How does all this cool engineering and design actually translate into a simple, high-margin sale for you right there at the point of purchase? You know this painful story all too well. First, the spill, then the panic, Then the frantic scramble to schedule a repair. The customer has to hand over their essential device for days, maybe even weeks, pay a huge fee, and just cross their fingers and hope their data is safe. It's just a terrible experience, plain and simple.
Okay, now compare that to the new way, the prevention workflow. A spill happens, but it's totally contained on the surface. The customer just lifts the cover, wipes everything clean, puts it back on, and gets right back to work. The whole problem is solved in less than a minute. This is that aha moment. This is a story you can now offer every single customer. I mean, when you see the two journeys side by side like this, the value is just undeniable. The difference in cost and hassle, it's massive. You're not just selling a product anymore. You're selling a vastly superior customer experience. You're selling real peace of mind. And for your business, the benefits are crystal clear. You're going to see fewer support incidents, you'll increase your high-margin attachment sales, you'll get higher customer satisfaction and loyalty, you're even helping customers extend the resale value of their devices, and giving your corporate clients a direct, easy way to lower their TCO. It's a win-win-win, a win for everyone. So let's end on this powerful idea. By offering this, you're not just selling another product. You are setting a new standard of care for every single MacBook that leaves your store. You're proactively protecting your customers' investment from the second they walk out the door. So the real question is, are you ready to offer your customers a better, more profitable solution? This is your chance to really get ahead of the curve. You can fill that critical gap that insurance just leaves wide open and turn your customer's biggest headache into a simple, profitable, and frankly, brilliant solution for your business.